we're gonna share our Zionists of the Year list. So who truly stood out in the year 2025? Who are the people that we can look back on now and say, oh yeah, that definitely struck a chord?
I mean, remember, we had our poll. But we
Yes.
called it the actual anti-Semite of the year because it's causing so much Jew hatred. And I believe it was Miriam Adelson was who won our poll.
They are definitely a diaper force for sure, because they shit their britches the second somebody who actually is competitive on the battlefield, like they are. This isn't a comprehensive list. There are too many propagandists, politicians, pundits who spent 2025 justifying mass slaughter, dehumanizing Palestinians, and manufacturing consent for atrocities. But let's take a look at the list anyway. Who do we have?
Let's look at the Zionist of the year.
Colin.
Oh,
well, the Donald, of course, had to make the list. Donald Trump earned Zionist of the Year by proposing the most cartoonishly evil ethnic cleansing scheme imaginable and supporting Israel's genocide in Gaza in February of 25. Trump announced plans for the U.S. to take over Gaza, expel its 2 million Palestinian residents, 1 million, and transform it into the Riviera of the Middle East, literally calling it for forced displacement to make room for luxury resorts. He even posted an AI-generated video depicting Trump Gaza, a luxury resort complete with himself and Netanyahu sunbathing and a golden Trump statue. Sounds about right. Who's next? Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss is a former New York Times editor and founder of the Free Press, a news outlet that became a major pro-Israel propaganda machine. In 2025, she got $150 million from CBS and became editor-in-chief, using the platform to publish investigations claiming starving Palestinian children in Gaza weren't actually starving, they were just sick. Yeah, I remember that one. Next up. The New York Times earned Zionist of the Year by serving as the propaganda arm that makes mass killing acceptable to Americans. Hey, I thought that the New York Times was the pro-Democratic Party rag.
Right, that's what they are. They're empire. They're the pro-capitalist rag.
Over 300 writers signed a boycott letter warning that the Times has played a crucial role in maintaining the death machine of Israel's bombardment, starvation, and apartheid in Gaza, refusing to publish in its pages until it revises its own history of support to genocide. Next one, please. Why did you put me on this list? Jerry Seinfeld has secured his Zionist of the Year award after telling Duke students that the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist terror group organization with over a century of lynchings, church bombings, and racial terror under its belt, is actually more respectable than people saying free Palestine. Yeah, that sounds about Jerry-esque. Hence why we don't do Festivus anymore. Next up, Colin. John Fetterman and Randy Fine. John Fetterman earned Zionist of the Year by being Israel's most shameless Democratic cheerleader. Pennsylvania senator said he loved Israel's pager attack on Hezbollah, a bombing that killed at least 20 people, including children, and even giddily accepted the silver-plated beeper as a gift from Netanyahu. Randy Fine clinched Zionist of the Year by being the most cartoonishly bloodthirsty member of Congress. The Florida congressman arranged for regards from Randy Fine to be written on artillery shells fired at Gaza. And after Palestine remains were returned in February of 25, declared there's no such thing as innocent Palestinian civilians, calling them demons that live on earth. Pretty sick.
Although I do I do agree with the combination of Fetterman and Randy Swine together.
Yes.
I do agree with that. That's a good pairing.
Next one, Colin, please. Van Jones earned his Zionist of the Year consideration after appearing on Bill Maher's show and turning dead Palestinian children into a punchline. He claimed Iran and Qatar are running a disinformation campaign through TikTok and Instagram. The CNN commentator dismissed documented evidence of Israel's mass killing of children as foreign propaganda, conveniently avoiding any mention who's actually doing the killing, of course.
Oh, you mean when he was like, "Oh, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby." Really?
Did he?
And did he? And then even within shortly thereafter still was making appearances. Like that was just an okay thing. Like this man should be a pariah from all media.
I agree. But then again, they all kind of are at this point. And there's a lot of them out there that are saying things that are making them look the fools that they are. And this is just another example of how every person on this list pretty much does it for money and power. Whether they truly are ideologically in line with that, I don't know. I don't care. In fact, I have a little bit more respect for those that are true believers than those that are just doing it for pay. Could you imagine going to sleep at night knowing that you are causing mass murder for you to get paid? Which is why I say you are a mass murderer by proxy if you're supporting Israel or being paid as a part of the Israel operation. And that includes somebody like Nick Shirley, who was clearly paid to do that investigation about last mayor in Gaza.
Yeah, well, I think also this is done from so much like systemic dehumanizing of Palestinian people in general. And so I think people are able to rationalize it based on so many years of dehumanizing a population, which, yeah, they do know better, but they're also getting paid to pretend like they don't see anything. They're getting paid to look the other way. And as far as Fetterman and swine, they're just disgusting people.
And I want to conclude tonight with this message. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but it's very important.
Yes, they are watermelons for people asking. They are my watermelons. I do not have my keffiyeh with me. That's the one thing I forgot at home, which I'm kind of sad about, but yeah.
House Dem leaders funneled millions to an AIPAC-funded group that spent millions to back pro-Israel candidates in primaries, according to new tax docs with sludge. For years, Wasserman Schultz was heavily funded by the very worst of the very worst. Big sugar, private prisons, payday lenders, the military-industrial complex, anti-healthcare initiatives. Now all that money is basically funneled through law firms, different NGOs with, super PAC attachments so you don't have to disclose who the people really are. Do you think for 1 second that the Democratic Party is giving up their financial infrastructure that is the pro-Israel lobby? Alon Mizrahi, the anti-Zionist Jewish writer, has made it very clear, which was my theory last year. You can say last year now, but was my theory that as the libertarian right continues to push the GOP away from Israel, the Democratic Party is going to welcome Israel's support with open arms. That's what's going to happen. That's where it's going.
Guys, check out handmadepalestine.com. That is where I got my keffiyeh. I saw somebody asking where they could get one. Handmade Palestine is run by Morgan Cooper, who we have watched on this channel, and they are solid. So I recommend and honestly, they have some really cool stuff there too, besides keffiyehs.
This is a pretty short read, so I'm going to pull it up.
Okay. Oh yeah, he runs the Mizrahi perspective. I've watched his channel.
Yeah. So Mizrahi is convinced that the switcheroo is coming in 2026.
No,
Especially,
the Mizrahi perspective. You know, Mizrahi is the type of Jew that the Ashkenazis labeled Jews
yeah.
from North Africa and Jews from West Asia. So it's a phrase called Mizrahi Jews. That's not his name. And also it's a made up name from the Ashkenazis, but yes.
So according to David Moore of Sludge, House Dems gave millions in dark money to AIPAC-linked 314 action. And that's just one. A nonprofit controlled by House Dem leaders gave $2.5 million last year to a group that was funded by AIPAC as it unleashed spending in Democratic primaries, according to a recent tax return. The 2024 donation from HMF, the House Majority Forward, to the nonprofit 314 Action. You see how they wash money, guys? You see how they do this? You see how they make it so that you can't track it? Was the first time it made a donation to the advocacy group, according to a review of tax filings. HMF, led by former Nancy Pelosi aide Mike Smith, operates as the dark money affiliate of the House Dems super PAC arm, the House Majority PAC, sending it tens of millions of dollars in anonymous funding last cycle. 314 Action, founded in 2016, says it works to elect science and STEM-educated Dems to office. Last year, its spending on ads and direct mail spiked in a pair of Democratic primaries in Oregon, around a precisely timed $1 million donation it received from United Democracy Project, the super PAC of the pro-Israel lobbying organization AIPAC. Jen, would you like to continue?
I'm trying to answer some questions. I'm sorry. People are asking questions about Mizrahi Jews, and I'm just trying to educate. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Where are we?
Top.
Okay. At the time, 314 Action pushed back against a May 3rd, 2024 report in The Intercept that it was receiving AIPAC funding to purchase ads backing a pair of state representatives deemed to be more pro-Israel, Maxine Dexter in the Oregon 3rd Congressional District and Janelle Bynum in the 5th. In comments to Sludge, 314 Action President Shaughnessy Naughton called The Intercept's report inaccurate, but she declined to provide any details on her claims or more information on her super PAC's recent funders. The day before the May 21st primary election in Oregon, 314 Action's executive director Eric Polyak wrote on Twitter that he was waiting on the Intercept reporter Ryan Graham to issue a retraction. Good luck on that.
Yeah, really.
The tweet showed a screenshot of 314 Action's FEC filing information for April, which did not show AIPAC affiliated group. When 314 Action's next monthly FEC filing was released on June 20th, it showed the $1 million donation from UDP received around the time the group was spending to support Dexter and Bynum in their primaries. Because the donation from UDP was received on May 1st, it was not publicly disclosed ahead of the May 31st primary.
So there you have it. And this is something that is going to be repeated over and over and over again. You think that they're going to stop? They're just going to refine their approach. And the approach is Israel today, as the minority leader in the House says, Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever. And they mean it.
Yeah.
So if you think that you are going to hostilely take over the Democratic Party, this is what's coming ahead for you in 2026. So hang on tight, because it'll be quite a bumpy ride, especially if you're thinking of taking over the Democratic Party. And as 07 says, brought to you by Palantir.